Okay, today we're going to go over how to make a linking cube using the Inventor software. So the first thing you'll want to do is open up your Inventor software. It should look like this icon right here. I've moved mine to, away from the rest of the icons. But yours will probably be over here on the side somewhere. But find the icon and double click it so it opens. Now when you open yours, it'll bring up a window that says start learning or start working. You want to start working. I've already opened mine, so the window's gone, but you want to click start working. Once you're into the software itself, you want to make a part. So click part right here, and yours will probably take a little while to load, but once it does, you should get a screen that looks like this. Now sometimes the background will load black instead of gray. Personally, I really like the gray a lot better than the black. It's up to you as to what kind of background you want. But the black, it makes it really difficult to see some things. So what you can do is go to Tools, and then Application Options, Colors, and then right here you can pick the different background colors. Winter Night is the one that I think works the best. You can choose any color you want, I don't care. But personally, I like Winter Night, and that seems to work the best for me. After you've chosen your color, you want to click Apply, and then go ahead and close it. And if you chose Winter Night, you'll have the exact same background as I do. Okay, now we need to actually make our part. So we're going to go up here to this toolbar and click Sketch. And then you want to we want to do rectangle right here. Okay, it's going to bring up these different planes. This just basically determines how you want your object to be situated when you make it. It really doesn't matter which plane you pick. Like if you pick this plane, the object's going to look like it's laying down. This would look like it's standing up with the front to the right. This looks like it's standing up with the front to the left. Since that's what we're used to with our isometric drawing, I usually choose the XY plane, but sometimes one of these other planes might work better. But I'm going to go ahead and pick XY plane. And then you just click on your screen. I usually start here in the middle. You can click anywhere you want really, but if you go here in the middle and click, don't double click, just click one time, and then move your mouse. Don't click anything. But now you can choose the length of sides for your square. We want a 1 inch by 1 inch. So it's actually going to end up being a cube. That'll be 1 inch on every side. So I'm going to type 1. Now don't press enter. That's the most common mistake people make. They want to press enter to put in the number. The number's already in there. So don't press enter. Press tab, and that'll take you to the other dimension. You can see it's highlighted in blue here. Okay, I'm going to type 1 again. Now I'm going to press enter, and I've got a 1 by 1 square. Now I can zoom out a little bit by using the wheel on the mouse. Okay, another option you can do is if you click the little home button here, it'll turn it back to the isometric view. And then you can click any of these faces that you want. Since I'm working on the front, I'm going to go ahead and click the front. But you can also click corners. If you want to turn it to the corner, you can click the edge. So you can also click on the cube and drag it and turn it however you want. But if you click a certain face, it'll snap right to that view. So here's the top view. Here's the edge between top and front view, corner. Also, if I turn it to front view, these two little arrows pop up, and I can rotate it 90 degrees by clicking on those arrows. If you right-click on the cube, you can change your view. So I could set this as my home view, or I could set it as my top or my front. So I can change what is the top view, what is the front view, what is the home view by using that. If you're missing any of these toolbars over here, or if you don't have, oh, hang on 1 second. It's trying to make me draw a square. If yours is trying to make you draw another square, just right click and then go to cancel, and it will stop making the square. If you're missing this toolbar over here, you can go to View, User Interface, and then you can click any of these options and turn on different windows. So if you're missing something, it's one of these boxes you need to check. All right, back to what we were doing. So my sketch, I'm going to click back on sketch. When I'm done and I've drawn my square, the sketch is the two-dimensional drawing that we're going to make into 3 dimensions. Okay, so I've drawn out the face of my cube. The face of the cube is a square, so I drew out a square. Now I'm going to click Finish Sketch, and it keeps moving it up. I don't know why, so I'm going to click the house to bring it back to center. Okay, this little window right here is annoying me, so I'm just going to click and drag it out of the way so I don't have to have it in the middle of my screen. All right, so now we need to make the square 3-dimensional because a cube is 3-dimensional. Okay, to do that, we go here to 3D Model and click that. And then you click Extrude, and this is what's going to make our shape have depth, or a 3rd dimension. All right, now mine auto-filled 1 inch. Yours may or may not. If it doesn't, you might have to click in here and then take that out and put in whatever you want. But mine already had 1 in there. Here's where you can choose different directions that you want it to go. It doesn't matter if it goes backwards or forwards from your square. Either one really doesn't matter. I wouldn't mess with any of those options. So since it was already on this option, I'm just going to stick with that. It really doesn't matter, like I said. Okay, you're going to click OK, and now you've got a cube. And then I'm going to click my house and put it back in the center. Now I need to make the peg that sticks out. So a linking cube, 5 of the faces have a hole that goes in, and then one face has a peg that sticks out. They're all the same size, just one sticks out and the other 5 go in. Okay, so what you do is you go up here to Sketch, and then I'm going to click Rectangle, because that's the shape I want to make. And then you got to click, where do you want to draw your rectangle? Okay, I want to draw it right here on this face, so I'm going to click. It doesn't really matter if you pick top, front, or right. You're going to end up doing all the faces at some point, but I'm just going to start here at top. And, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. I don't want a rectangle, I want a circle. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go over here and click circle instead. And then you're going to just click on your screen somewhere, drag your mouse, and it'll start making a circle. Okay, the circle we want to be 1/2 inch, which is 0.5. Type in 0.5 and press enter, and that'll make your circle have 1/2 inch diameter. Then I'm going to right click on my screen, go to cancel. Now we need to get that circle perfectly centered on this face right here. We don't want it just placed anywhere. It's got to be perfectly centered, so that way when we go to combine this cube with another cube, the circle will fit, the peg will fit into the hole. If they're not centered, they won't fit together correctly. So to do that, we click Dimension. You're going to click the center point of your circle, and then the right edge of your square, and then you just move your mouse either left or right, doesn't matter which way, and then just click on the screen, type in 0.5. You can click the green check or you can press enter, it doesn't matter, and that'll set the center of your circle, right edge makes it 1/2 inch, 0.5. Since this is 1 inch across, 0.5 would be perfectly in the center. Okay, now we need to center it from top to bottom. So again, I'm going to click Dimension, center point of the circle, top edge. You can see the top edge turns white when I get there, so make sure you get it to highlight white before you click it. Okay, now I'm going to move my mouse down or up, doesn't matter which way you go. Click on the screen, type in 0.5 again, press enter, and now it's perfectly centered. So if I click the little house here, sorry, I want to click the top face, not the house. So if I do the dimension from the center point to the bottom, it's already 0.5 because the edge is 1 inch. So if the center point of the circle to the top is 0.5, then the center point to the bottom has to be 0.5. That's just the way it has to be. So if I click on here, it's going to tell me I'm putting in too many constraints. Over constrained. In other words, it's saying that's an unnecessary piece of information. It already has to be 0.5. We don't need to put that piece of information on here. So you just click accept, or sorry, it should have been cancel. Anyways, we can delete it. See how I put it in the parentheses? It's telling you it's unnecessary. So if you want to delete it, or if you like messed up on one of these and you need to delete it, just go to it till hover over it till it highlights, and then right click, and you have to click cancel first, and then you go back to it, right click again, click delete, and it will delete that constraint. You can do it to any part. You could do it to your circle also. You could delete that and start over if you need to. Another really handy tool at this point, if you make a mistake, the best way to fix that mistake is this right here, the undo button. That will undo whatever you did last. Now here's another common mistake kids make. They just start clicking the undo button a whole bunch of times, and then you don't know which part or which step you were on. You can't just click it a random number of times and then start. Okay? If you make a mistake, undo. Just click it one time. You shouldn't keep on going after you've made the mistake. Now, if you do, and you've done 3 steps since then, you might need to click it more. But the best way to do it is to, as soon as you make a mistake, just click undo. Or usually, like I said, you can hover over it till it highlights, and then right click, and then delete. But for some reason, you have to go to cancel first, and then, oh, I don't know what I opened up, but I'm just going to cancel that. And then you'll have to go back and right click it again and delete. If you need help, just ask me. Okay, so I've got my circle drawn. All right, so I'm going to finish my sketch. Again, make sure that it is centered like this. Now I'm going to make this the peg that sticks out. It doesn't really matter if you make it a peg or a hole, but I'm just going to make this one the peg. So what I need to do next is go here to 3D model, and I'm going to click extrude. And if it doesn't automatically select it, you might need to click inside of the circle, but usually it automatically selects it. All right, so it's trying to make it 1 inch. It auto-filled 1 inch. I don't want it to be 1 inch. I want it to be a fourth of an inch, 0.25. So I'm going to click in here and take this out and put in 0.25. Click OK, and there you have it. There's the cube, or I'm sorry, the peg part. Okay, so now I'm going to make a hole. So I'm going to go back here to Sketch, click Start Sketch, click on the face that I want it on. It's not bothering me that it's not centered. Usually it auto centers, but there we go. Okay, I'm going to click circle because that's the shape I want to make. Just click somewhere on your screen, drag 0.5, enter, right click, cancel. Now I need to center it, so I'm going to click dimension, center point, top edge, move my mouse, 0.5, center point, right edge, move my mouse, 0.5, and now this is perfectly centered, so finish your sketch. So that's the exact same steps we did before. Now, we only have one peg sticking out on a linking cube, so we need the rest of these to be holes. So we go over here to 3D model, and you'll see hole right here. That actually is not what we want to use for this step. That'll be covered in a later lesson. But for right now, what we want to do is just extrude. Now you can see it's trying to make it stick out. We don't want it to stick out. So in order to make it cut in, you have to click this option right here. If you hover over it, it says cut. You click that, and it will cut into your linking cube. Sometimes it won't change this part right here. See, if I click this, it goes out. If I click here, it automatically, sometimes it won't automatically flip that, so you'll have to click this arrow as well. Usually it automatically does it, but sometimes it doesn't. So if you get an error message, let me show you. If it looks like this, and you click OK, and it tells you can't do it, all right, you're going to have to edit that, and there's a mistake you need to fix, and that would be that it didn't automatically select this direction. So when you cut, you want to make sure it's going into the shape. So I'm going to click OK, and there is the hole.